Okay, welcome to the AU 2020, this year digital. My name is Thomas Stühle, and today we will focus on the topic how to choose the right cloud storage provider for my AutoCAD. First, the valid question may be also interesting for you why I chose that topic. So I work as a senior technical support specialist for Autodesk in Munich in Germany. And the topic came on my mind beginning of the year when I was preparing for a presentation for an Autodesk reseller from the US, from California. And the topic was what's new in AutoCAD 21. Yeah, and some of the new functionalities needed to be shown, like XCompare, DWG Compare, and they just come along with the cloud storage providers. So in order to prepare for the presentation, I had to install the cloud storage providers. Yeah, and as you can imagine, in a situation like this, I can't make any preferences, so I had to end up installing all of them, and that's actually what I did. And during that process, the topic came on my mind. Which cloud storage provider would I have chosen if I would have been in a different situation? And my initial thought could have been actually which one offers the most storage space for as little money as possible. That means first question, which one has a free account? And which free account actually has the most storage space? And I wanted to avoid that you are going exactly that way. I wanted to avoid that you are going only by these two criteria. And that's why I came up with the topic. I wanted you to choose according to your situation and according to your needs, and not how to save money and to get the most storage space. Just quickly about myself. After working as a surveyor, I studied geoinformatics and worked afterwards in the field of geographic information systems. As an application developer, as a software trainer, technical sales, and currently I work in the position as a technical support specialist for Autodesk, covering Maps3D, AutoCAD core product, and also the mobile solutions. My interest next to the GIS systems and AutoCAD is the AEC field. In general, collaboration, digitization, seamless workflows, all these are very interesting for me. And as we know, and we will see, these are possible when you combine the AutoCAD applications with the cloud storage providers. What are we covering today? The key pillars. First point is motivation. What is the motivation from an industry perspective to be interested in the cloud storage providers? And also, what is the customer perspective? Why are they interested in the cloud storage providers? And in connection to that, also Autodesk motivation, why are they offering this? Autodesk in general, they follow industry trends. And when issues on the customer side, when they can be solved with integration of cloud storage providers, of course, that is interesting for Autodesk, and to provide a solution for the customer to realize that. And also we will check during our presentation where all threads come together. So we will open an application. We will actually open all of these applications. We will open AutoCAD Mobile, AutoCAD Web App, and AutoCAD Desktop, and see which application actually gives us a perfect overview of the situation. I think that's important to get an overview of all the cloud storage space options that we have for AutoCAD. From my perspective, that's a web app, that's a mobile app, but we see that later. And also with opening the applications, you get a little bit sauce on your meat and it doesn't taste so dry, just looking at the presentation. The second point are questions. After we finished the first point, we are aware of the situation, we are aware of the benefits of cloud storage providers and why they're interesting for the industry and the customers. And most probably also identified yourself with the situation. Otherwise, I wonder why you are here. Of course, there might be a general interest, but I would understand if you already have an issue that you would like to solve with a cloud storage provider. The most important thing is, before we start choosing, that we are fully aware of our situation. And the question is, how do we get aware of our situation? With asking ourselves the right question before choosing blind, before choosing just by the two criteria, cheapest, most storage space. We don't want to do that. We want to choose according to our situation and our needs. And in point 3, just to set the expectations right for today, I would like to give you an answer which storage provider actually fits best for you, but there is no overall general storage provider that fits best. Yeah, we need to figure out which one fits best for you. Of course, I can't do this together with you. Of course, we can't communicate. We don't have a communication here, a conversation about it. So I need to give you a structure, what you can do to figure that out. Yeah, we will see what is important to check. And of course, also which cloud storage provider has its unique selling points and where are they? In technical support, normally our job is to have the answer. Like I said, that's today unfortunately not possible, but I think that's also why the quote from Eugene Ionesco fits. It's not the answer that enlightens, it's the question. Today we can't focus, or I can't give you the answer. Yeah, I will help you to ask yourself the right questions. I will give you the structure to find the solution yourself. And I will give you some hints on the way, but mainly the decision that enlightens will come from your side after giving yourself the answers to the questions. Yeah? Here we see all cloud storage providers together. Actually, the time is over to explain the word cloud. I think that was done 5 or 10 years ago. You all know probably about the cloud storage providers, or at least you heard the names because they became part of our daily life. But talking about cloud storage, I think I would like to briefly explain how the cloud storage provider work. Yeah? What is OneDrive? Well, it's a cloud storage provider. If you have ever used Dropbox before, it is exactly the same thing, except it is Microsoft's version of it. What is BIM 360? Well, it's also a cloud storage provider. If you have ever used Google Drive before, it is exactly the same thing, except it's Autodesk version of it, which comes additional with a lot of useful extra functionality. What does it mean to store your file in the cloud? I know that clouds float overhead, but what does it mean to put a file there? I think the easiest way to think of it is at home you have your own computer, and when you put a file or a document from your hard drive to the cloud, you are putting it to Microsoft's, to Google's, or to Autodesk's computer. Microsoft, Google's, or Autodesk, they refer to their computers as servers, and their servers are located in many different data centers in different countries, depending on the cloud storage provider. Yeah? But anytime you put a file on the cloud, you are actually putting it on one of these servers in one of these data centers. And you might be thinking, oh, well, but why should I do that? What are the benefits of putting my files in the cloud? Well, there are 3 main benefits by putting your files in the cloud, and they are shown here on this slide. Yeah, store, access, and share. And store actually means nothing differently than back up your files. You can back up your files. So let's say you have a bunch of files on your laptop, and maybe you lose your laptop or something, or someone steals it, or maybe something happens to it where your hard drive dies. Now, when you backed up your files in the cloud, it doesn't matter. It doesn't hit you so hard. You can just restore all of your files. And the second point, access. It actually means access from anywhere. For example, I live here in Munich. I own my computer, or better, Autodesk owns my computer. I own my files on Autodesk's computer here in Munich. And let's say I went to a trip to Las Vegas without my computer and I want to access my files. Well, it will be hard to do that because my computer is at home. So instead, what I could do is I access the cloud that has all my files, and then I can get them from anywhere. Yeah, so no USB or portable hard drive is needed anymore. These products will probably face some hard times and are doing this most probably already. I mean, my photos or drawings, they are not backed up anymore on a hard drive. I have unlimited online storage account that comes together with one of my cloud services, and I can access my files in a minute from everywhere, except when I'm on top of a mountain where internet access is in general hard to get. Yeah, or another example, I printed the wrong drawing or the wrong plan. I'm sitting in a meeting and I need to show the current state of the project. When I don't have the current state, I actually can't show something. Yeah, I need to drive back to the office to get the current version. With the data in the cloud, I would always have access to the most up-to-date version. When I drive back, I lose time. When I lose time, the company loses time. When the company loses time, the company loses money. So actually using the cloud storage providers saves you time, and under this aspect saves you money. when you're in that situation. When it comes to share, we're talking about share and collaboration. Yeah, the benefit is that you can also share and collaborate with others. So what do I mean by that? In the past, when you worked on a file on your own computer, and if you wanted to share that with somebody, what did you do? Yeah, typically, what you did, you send it via email to somebody. Yeah, that person download the file, does some changes, and sends it back via email. So a lot of email communication is done. When you store the file in the cloud, what you can do is you can share a link on that file or share a link to that file, and you can continue working on that link or on that file via that link. And whoever you share that file with can also work on that file. So you no longer have to send the file back and forth. It makes collaboration a lot easier. Not many different versions exist. Everybody works on the most up-to-date file. And that is where AutoCAD Desktop, AutoCAD Web App, and AutoCAD Mobile App come into play. They can all connect to the cloud storage providers. And with this solution, you have the access anywhere on any device, on a desktop PC, on a laptop, on a tablet, on a mobile phone. Yeah? You work as a team with your colleagues. I think your tools should do the same. And now I'm going to give you a short presentation in the applications itself. So we were going to open AutoCAD Mobile, AutoCAD Web App, and AutoCAD Desktop, and then we see how everything is connected together. So that means I will close my presentation right now and just open the mobile app. Normally the mobile app runs on an Android device, runs on an iOS system, you have it on your phone, but that is a graphical user interface. There's also a Microsoft version on it, and that is how it looks. We are currently logged into the mobile app with our Autodesk account. You see it in the upper right corner. There's a small icon of my AutoCAD profile, and we see folders and we see drawings. And on the left side, we see AutoCAD Web and Mobile is active. AutoCAD Web and Mobile is actually the cloud storage space that is connected to your Autodesk account. It is your individual cloud storage space. You can go down in the folders, you can open the drawings. When you open the drawing, you can work on it very easily. We see here the doghouse plan sample, but we don't want to do something, so we just going to close it. As I said, that is a cloud storage space that comes together with your Autodesk account. But underneath, we have the option to connect to cloud storage providers. Add storage provider. How does that look? Well, I just press that, and then I can connect to all 5: BIM 360 Docs, Box, Dropbox, Google Drive, and OneDrive. And as you can see, I did that already. That's a leftover of the presentation, and I am connected to BIM 360 projects. I'm connected to Box, to Dropbox, and you see when I select it, it is the same look and feel. The same folders are listed, drawings are listed underneath, or general files are listed, and I can also open them. So very nice, very handy, same look and feel, and it is very easy to connect. Since I already connected here to a lot of options, we're going to switch now to the AutoCAD Web App, and we will do that in the browser. When I switch to the browser, it is webautocad.com. I will just sign in with my Autodesk account. I changed my password. That should work. And now it looks exactly the same. Let me switch back to the mobile app. You see there is hardly a difference. I need to pay attention that I'm ending up in the right application right now, because it really looks the same. And here I'm also connected already to Dropbox, Box, BIM 360, and to 2 projects. It looks exactly the same. And now I would like to connect to a cloud storage provider. So let's choose, for example, OneDrive. I fill out the details. Say next. Enter my password. And now we see a two-step authorization. Yeah, I enter my password, and now it comes together with my mobile phone. Yeah, so I choose get my mobile phone and accept the request. And I'm logged in. Yeah, so 2 security levels. And now I'm also connected to OneDrive. Very easy. You saw what took long was just entering the details. In general, it is seconds, and you are logged in to your cloud storage provider. Now I showed you how everything works in the mobile app. I showed you how everything works in the web app. We are directly connected to the cloud storage providers. And now I will show you how it works from the desktop app. That's a desktop app. It's already open. And what we are doing right now, we just draw something. You know what? Just a circle, just a rectangle, and now we want to save it. But wait, we don't want to save it on our hard drive. No, we want to save it in the cloud. So what we are doing is we choose the buttons here in the upper left corner. There are 2 buttons open from web mobile, but now we want to save. So we choose save to web mobile. And the window that pops up right now reminds us of web and mobile that we saw in the mobile application and in the web application. And right now we can just say new drawing, let's say new circle, rectangle. Yeah, and we hit save. It is saved under the new name. And now we just switch, for example, the folders, and it is directly here. So it's super fast in the cloud. The synchronization is there in between the accounts. And here we see the circle and the rectangle. Yeah, so you can also connect directly to the cloud from AutoCAD desktop. And on top, of course, you can also connect to the cloud storage providers. But that works a little bit differently. In the mobile app and in the web app, you're directly connected to the cloud. It is a little bit different when it comes to the desktop app, because here we save it on our hard drive. We save the drawing, and now, for example, we save it not on the desktop, but we save it, for example, on a OneDrive folder, on a Dropbox folder, on a Google Drive folder, on a BIM 360 folder. I have them all here under my documents. There's a BIM 360 folder, there's a Dropbox folder, there's a OneDrive folder, and I can save them there directly. Yeah, that is a synchronized folder. And when I save a file there, it will be saved first on my local hard drive and then synchronized in the cloud. So that's what we are doing right now. We saved it under OneDrive. And now I will have a look at the folder itself. So I'll go to C, to users, and now to OneDrive. And here you see it's already synchronized. There's already an arrow tick. It is already synchronized and in the cloud. And we're going to double check that now. We log in into OneDrive. I think when I enter my email address one more time, you know it by heart. Thanks, SSO. I think I'm directly single sign-on, directly logged in. And here we have new circle rectangle, the new drawing that we just created about a minute ago, as shown here. Yeah, and we could also open it directly from the cloud storage provider. So we have a two-side connection. We can go to the cloud storage provider itself in the browser and open it from the browser, or we log in into the AutoCAD web app or the mobile app and open it from there. or we go to the synchronized folder when we work with our desktop app. I think you've seen now how the connection works. Everything is synchronized, very, very comfortable, and no delays. Everything was just there. So, and we will switch now back to our presentation, and I will show you more about the main topic of this presentation, how to choose the right storage provider for my AutoCAD. So we just see the same slide again that we saw before, and now we move forward. Remember, when it comes to the question of section 2 of chapter 2 that we had at the beginning, the key pillars, the most important thing is that we are fully aware of our situation before we are getting into it. But the question is, how do we get aware of our situation? With asking ourselves the right question before choosing blind. We need to choose according to our situation and our needs. And that's why this slide here is split into 2 topics. The first section deals with the issue that you face, and the second one with the solution of these issues. Most of you are probably here because they have an issue that they want to solve with the cloud storage providers. Some of you might just be interested, that's fine too. But the business case is that you already have an issue that you would like to solve with the cloud storage provider. And the question that you need to ask yourself here is, which issue do I have currently in my daily workflow that I would like to solve? Where do I lose time? Where do I not have access to my files? And when you found out which issues you have, you can ask yourself, can I actually solve them with the cloud storage providers, with what I know about the cloud storage providers? I gave you 2 examples before. When you are in a meeting, you lost your, or you forgot more or less your drawing in the office, you had to drive back because you brought the wrong version, maybe another scenario. Then you lose time, you lose money, the company loses money. Or also when someone worked on the wrong version because he didn't receive an email. Then it needs to be merged afterwards with the current drawing. Also a scenario where the company loses time and money. And when you are aware of that situation, you need to ask yourself in the next question, how much time do I actually lose when a problem like that occurs? And furthermore, am I the only person affected by that issue? Or how many of my colleagues have the same problem? Another question, how frequently does it happen to me? How often does it happen that I forget the plan at home? How often does it happen that one of my colleagues doesn't receive an email and works on the wrong drawing version? When you know how often it appears, when you know how much time you normally lose, when you know how many others are affected by this, then your company can calculate how much money they lose on a monthly or yearly basis. And then you know how much money you possibly have to get a benefit out of it, because you might buy a subscription for the cloud storage provider. That brings us to point 2, the solution section. Ask yourself, until when do I need a solution? If you don't have a time frame in mind, there might not even be a real problem. And ask yourself, how hard does the issue hit me when it happens? How bad do I want it to change? Why am I saying this? Because when you move on with the same problems, when you move on with the same issues, and you do business as usual, that means the same amount of people loses a certain amount of time, and the company all the time loses a certain amount of money on a frequent basis. Until you make a decision, it keeps on going that way. So if you can, don't push your decision. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. And I think that's also a good starting point for us to focus now on the different cloud storage providers. First, an overview. The topic is how to choose the right cloud storage provider for my AutoCAD. And I want to prepare you for the important points. When we talk about important points, there's also a chance for unimportant points. Which points are unimportant for us? Actually, there are no really unimportant points for us, but there are points that we don't necessarily have to check. And which points don't we have to check necessarily? The points all cloud storage providers offer. because we want to differentiate them from each other. We want to know which one fits best for us. But if they all provide certain topics, actually we can just fade them out because they are standard. Yeah, so let's name them. Example, public file or folder sharing, to share files or the content of a whole folder and give viewing access or editing access to other people. That's standard. They all offer this. Yeah, a PC sync application. We saw that before when I showed you the AutoCAD desktop app. Folders and files are locally stored in your machine and synchronized with the cloud. That's also something all of them offer. Yeah, a two-step verification is also something they all offer. I understand if not everybody is familiar with two-step verification. So it's actually an authentication that is verifying a user's identity before giving access to a computer system or an online account. Yeah, and there are three main factors in authentication. First one, a knowledge factor. Yeah, something only you know, such as a password or a PIN or the name of your first pet. Yeah, the second one is an ownership factor. Something you own, such as a mobile device or ID. We saw that before. When I was logging into OneDrive, I was entering with my Autodesk account, and afterwards I got a notification on my mobile device that I had to agree. Yeah, another option is an inheritance factor, something unique to you, such as a fingerprint or a voice. And a two-factor authentication simply means that your security system uses two of these factors, as we saw before. Online file previews, also something that they offer, and I think that speaks for itself. You can view the files online. Deleted file recovery is also something that they offer. Yeah, when a file gets deleted on the cloud storage account or cloud storage space, you can recover it for a certain amount of time. They all have it, but they are different dealing with a time frame. Some offer this for 30 days, some offer this for 180 days. Some offer this for 30 versions, but be careful. 30 versions means you save a drawing 30 times, that can happen today, and it's over. So pay attention, choose according to your needs how long you want to have access to your file recovery. That might be important for you. Another hint, if your drawing gets corrupt. Normally on your local storage, you have the drawing file, you have the BAK file, but no other file. Yeah, and with a cloud storage provider and a very big time frame at the back, yeah, you can go back to a previous state or maybe a month ago if your drawing got corrupt and you didn't notice it. Yeah. Also open drawings in the AutoCAD or with the AutoCAD web app. Yeah, we were logged into OneDrive and we were able to open the drawings directly from OneDrive in the AutoCAD web app. This is something they all offer too. And now we come to the point that not all cloud storage providers offer, or where the answers are different depending on the cloud storage provider. We have costs. How much costs will you have? Will I choose a free account? How many monthly costs do I have? And the costs obviously depend on how much are you willing to pay. Yeah, depending on how much you lose, according to the issue that you have, you might be willing to spend more in case it's necessary. But I would recommend, don't just go for the highest storage space, for example. Choose according to the issue that you want to solve. And if that means you don't actually need so much storage space, that's fine. You could upgrade later, right? Operating system, yeah? Which operating system support do you need? When you only need a backup of the files on your computer, then you actually just need the online storage space. If you need to have access to the drawings anywhere, then you need also apps. Yeah, you need an operating system, or you need support for the operating system, Androids and iOS, for example. Server locations is also a topic. Yeah, some of the servers are in the US, some are in the US and Europe. If you as a company if you have restrictions regarding the server locations, that might be an interesting question for you, because that would already put a big filter on the list of the cloud storage provider. Which cloud storage provider allows to view or to edit the files online? Yes, they all can do that. But the question is, which formats? Which formats can be uploaded in general, and which formats can be opened in the cloud and edited in the cloud? and maybe which formats can be edited from several people at the same time. The cloud storage providers, they have different answers for that depending on the provider. File authorization is a topic. File history is a topic. I said already, how long are files saved in the cloud? If you want to roll back to a previous state, the time frame is definitely interesting. If you work with very big drawings or very big files, the file size limit might also be interesting. Mostly they don't have a file size limit. For example, Box comes with a 250 megabyte file size limit. That is something you might need to keep in mind, but only for the free account of Box. But that is something that you also need to pay attention to. 250 megabyte is quite big for a drawing too, but it might be interesting for you. And extra features. That is also an interesting topic. Now we will have a look at all the cloud storage providers one by one. I can't mention all points, but I can let you know what makes each of them unique. Actually, please do not expect a table that shows these points for all storage providers, because that's not possible. We have 5 storage providers and they each have maybe 5 different cost models or contracts. That would mean a table containing of 20 to 30 columns and 10 rows. And that's actually too much information. And on top, the information might change tomorrow. So this presentation is not meant to give you the overview table. This presentation is meant to give you an overview, which points to look at when you start making your decision. So we start with Dropbox. It's not about the content on the pages. It's just a general information about their models. Some of them. Dropbox is a service that made cloud storage mainstream. It was focusing on cloud storage from the very beginning. It was founded all the way back in 2007, and it's then the veteran of the industry. It was also one of the first cloud storages that could be used as a collaboration platform rather than just extra storage space in the cloud. The free account comes with 2 gigabytes of storage space, which is not necessarily so much. But free accounts in general are good. They always give you great opportunities to try the service. And the nice thing is they have a good integration. Dropbox offers Google Drive integration, which is very rare in the cloud storage industry because it mostly sees Drive as a direct competitor. Dropbox is also integrated with Microsoft Office, meaning you can create or edit Office documents right from the Dropbox website, and anyone you are collaborating with can do the same. So in a nutshell, Dropbox actually works with both OneDrive and Google Drive, but keep in mind, you have to pay extra for the services. Box is another cloud storage service that has been around for more than a decade. It offers in the free account 10 gigabyte, which is 5 times more than we saw before on Dropbox. And it also has a huge selection of third-party apps too. It integrates also with Office 365 and Google's Office Suite. And as I said, keep in mind they have a file size limit on the free plan that has 250 megabyte. Now we come to OneDrive, and OneDrive is actually the most used one. Why is that? Because it comes pre-packaged with Windows 10. Microsoft OneDrive comes standard on all Windows PCs. And OneDrive also benefits from syncing with the whole Microsoft Office suite. When you already assign to Office 365, then you already have it at no additional cost. So you might have it already. Keep that in mind. And also a nice hint, it might be worth checking out the subscription plan for the Microsoft Office family, which costs around $100 per year, and it includes 6 users. And each user gets 1 terabyte of storage space on top of the Office apps. OneDrive is also very secure. All the cloud storage providers are all secured with a 2-factor authentication, but OneDrive goes a bit further. Their personal vault requires 2-factor authentication every time you look inside the app. And when you share files, also interesting, you can share files with people that also don't have a Microsoft account. And even them can edit the documents. And you can also set a date for when the access expires and a password for the access. And OneDrive doesn't only exist for Windows, it's also available for macOS, Android, and iOS. Yeah, and it's really interesting on how many platforms it runs, because it also runs on pretty much anything, even on the Microsoft Xbox. But of course, it is Microsoft. Google Drive comes as Google Drive. When we talk about the free account, keep in mind when you upgrade to a paid one, the name changes to Google One. But also here you can edit documents, yeah, like Google Docs and Sheets. It's great for file sharing and collaboration, yeah, and it allows that files can be accessed by several people at the same time, which is a great benefit for collaboration. It offers also free storage space, which is in total 15 GB, and it offers best customer service help for beginners. But the storage space, be careful, is divided together with Gmail, Google Photos, and Google Drive. Yeah, so when your Google Drive is already there since 20 years, it might already be full. Keep that in mind. File sharing, yeah. When you want to share the file with people, you can also do this with people that don't have a Google account, but those people can only view the files and can't edit them. And the nice thing is it also integrates with most third-party apps. And if you were constantly wondering, I wonder if I can connect to application XYZ with a cloud storage service, Google Drive probably integrates with it. Yeah, but server locations might be a topic for Google Drive because Google doesn't provide anything to choose or to tell you where your actual data is located. As I state that their data is replicated throughout multiple locations, so they are not as transparent as others when it comes to this topic. And now we come to BIM 360. Me, for myself, I can definitely mention the customer service and the technical support. In my position, easy to say, but BIM 360 offers cloud storage, of course, but extra functionality regarding project design information, in-context markups, and also AEC specific collaboration needs. It is certainly a good cloud storage provider or a better cloud storage provider, especially for the AEC industry. It allows design file viewing, design reference management, version compare, virtual design review, design file markup, real-time co-authoring in Autodesk products like, for example, Revit. That was the last one in our list. Yeah. It comes together also with other functionality that you can add on top. Docs is the core. It is a backbone, but you can add build, coordinate, layout, plan, design, and ops, depending on which other requirements you have. Now, that was the last one in the list. And now we go to the last slide, to the conclusion. We saw that slide again. Now the slide is meant as an overview, as a reminder to see the names again. So what did we learn today? We know now about the benefits of cloud storage providers, and we know how to configure them and to add them in our applications. And we also have an idea of which issues they can fix. Not that we necessarily need to know an issue, because that's not the ideal situation. You shouldn't get a storage provider and then think which issues can be solved. No, it should be the other way around. Be aware of the issue, be aware of the circumstances, be aware of the hard facts, and then choose the cloud storage provider according to that. And we got briefly introduced in the benefits of each cloud storage provider, and that gives us a good overview as a starting point for our selection. Yeah. We know now which points we have to focus on, and we also know which points we just have to keep in mind, but it's not necessarily to focus on because they all offer it. Yeah, and we know which points can make a difference. For example, costs can make a difference. You might already have it already in-house. Storage space can make a difference. Server locations can make a difference. Integration can make a difference. Yeah, you need to work online with other people together. You need to edit documents online. Third-party apps can make a difference. The file history can make a difference. Not the file history in general, but how long is the file history saved? 180 days definitely gives a good option instead of 30 versions. And how long can I restore deleted files? Yeah, that was a content of the presentation. I hope it was also interesting for you. It was definitely interesting for me to gather all the information when I faced the topic to come up with it here on the AU. And yeah, that was a presentation. I'm really looking forward to see you also in the Q&A session. Thank you.